So maybe you've heard the term randos or randies, and this is usually given to players that just randomly throw the dice as opposed to setting them or trying to control the dice. Well, a lot of players believe that these randies will throw short rolls and the 7's going to come up early. Well, if that is you and you believe that there's going to be some short rolls, well then this strategy might be just for you. Casino craps. It might look complicated, but at its core, it's a simple game. Roll the dice, bet on the correct number, and win. Hi, I'm Jeremy, and I am a craps fanatic. My job, to teach you the game, to teach you the math and some strategies, and with a little luck, you can color up. Today's video is part of my Dice Advice series where viewers submit strategies and then I test them out here on Color Up. Now this one came to me from a club member named Bob, and he said he saw it from a guy named Kev the Carpenter. So Kev, thank you for the strategy, and then Bob, thanks for sending it on to me. Now he calls this the Randy Huckenchuck. Now this is a big boy strategy. It's going to take a bankroll, and we're going to be betting at minimum $25 bets, so a $25 table this would work at. You could scale this down definitely once you kind of see how it plays out. I mean, all the way down to $5 if you'd like. But I'm going to show it how it was given to me at the $25 level. For this strategy, we're going to start off on the don't pass for $50. Now, if this ever loses to the 7-11, we just replace it. We've got to start with the strategy with getting don't pass established. So let's say the point goes to 6. Well, in this case, we're going to then make a $50 don't pass, and then we're going to lay enough odds to win $50 in case the 7 were to roll. If the 7 rolls, we'd lose our don't come, we'd win down here. So we would win back our 50 with the odds, and then we would win on our don't pass. Now the odds on the 6 or 8 are pay 5 to 6. These pay 2 to 3, and these play 1 to 2. So here on the 6 and 8, you're going to have to lay $60 to win back 50. You always have to bet more to win back less. If the point were on the 5 or 9, well, we would have to bet $75 to win back 50. And then if the point were 4 or 10, we would have to bet $100 to win back 50. Why? Because we're the 2-to-1 favorite. So you have to bet twice as much to win back half. Now these odds are just going to stick here for one roll trying to get this don't come established. Let's say we're on the 10 here, and then this rolls, we roll a 5, and this travels behind the 5. Now we have a bet against the 5, so if the 7 rolls, this one wins. At this point, we don't have any risk of losing our don't come, so we will remove our odds back. At this stage of the game, he starts what he calls a come ladder, and that is just increasing his bets. So he's going to start with a $25 come bet, and then a $50 come bet, and then a $100 come bet. Now, a come bet loses to the 2, 3, and 12. If it ever loses here in the come, we would lose it. We would just skip it and go right ahead to the next level. So in this case, a $50 level. If we ever win in the come, which would be, let's say the 11 rolls, we win 50. Well, we could just, and we don't have any other come bets, we could just drop back down to that 25 level. Now, the ideal is, say this come goes into the 9, then we go to a 50. The 50 maybe goes to the 8, and then we bet 100. Maybe the 9 rolls again. This comes down, gets paid. Our 100 goes up in here. We wouldn't repeat the process. We would just let everything play out. So maybe the 5 rolls and we actually lose that. Again, we're just letting it play out. Ideally, in this situation, we roll the 9 before the 7, because if the 7 rolls, we lose this here, but we'd only win back here. There are a couple rules. For instance, let's say we have the don't come and we have our odds laid. If we were to roll this 10, we would lose our bet down here. We're not going to repeat that bet. So this will travel behind the 10, the puck will go off. If that's the case, we would just start our come ladder. Now the puck's off, so we can't do a come, so we would do a $25 pass. Once there's a number, then we would do the $50 come and keep going, right? And then the next one would be 100. Now let's say we have the don't pass and the point goes to the 6. We have to lay 60 in odds to win back 50, and then we have 50 in the don't come. Let's say maybe this one's fine, but we lose this bet. So maybe the 11 rolls here, we lose this. Again, we're not going to repeat that bet. We'll just roll with what we got here. So in this case, we would just remove our odds and then start our come ladder at $25. So anytime you're in the middle of a sequence, you're always just going to play it out unless you ever end up with one don't pass or one don't come bet, and then essentially you're at the beginning so you could just start over. I think this will make a lot more sense when we see it in action, so let's go ahead and do that now with a live roll. All right, I have 500, 500, so $1,000 total bankroll. Now, if you're playing the don't pass and the don't come especially, you probably want to play on this side of the table over here, just so you can reach these bets well. But, you know, because I don't want to get in the way of shooting here on my table, I'm going to go ahead and play the don't pass down here and then make a don't come bet. But I would recommend you play up in this corner if you're going to be a don't pass and don't come player. So let's go ahead and get started with the strategy. So $50 on the line for don't pass. You can shoot. You're more than welcome to shoot from the don't pass or the pass line, either one, but one of those is required. So we're going to be shooting from the don't pass, or just assume someone else is shooting the dice. All right, here we go. New shooter coming out. 6 easy. 6 will be our point. So we're going to make that $50 don't come bet, and then we're going to make a $60 lay odds. So we don't have some red. Let's go ahead, dealer, can I have some red? So we can make change for you anytime, just ask. So now we got some change. Now we can do a $60 lay bet against the 6. All right, let's see what happens. Here we go. 9, all right. So let me pull this all the way back here. Our 9, or don't come, is going to travel behind the 9. Now we have a bet against the 9. Now we don't need our odds, so we can just pull those back into our rack. Let me separate the red over here. So we have 2 don't bets against the 6 and against the 9. We want to avoid those numbers if we can. But now we're going to start our come ladder. So start off with $25 on the come. All right, here we go. 7. That's a pretty good situation because we win in the come. But first, we're going to win our don't pass. Our don't come is going to come down and get paid. And then our come gets paid. So we can rack all that up. And now it's time to leave the casino up 100 or whatever, however much we just won right there, right? Nah, we can't do that. We came here to gamble for a little bit. All right, but that is an ideal situation. You know, random shooter, short roll, there we go. That's how it works. All right, let's get $50 down on our don't. Here we go. New shooter coming out. There's a 7 on the come out. For the don't pass, we're always just going to replace it. So we lose 50 there. Let's put it back. Oh, here we go. Another 7. We're giving back our profits just like that, just so quick. All right, don't pass, but we need a don't pass kind of for the strategy to get started, so we're going to have to live through those. All right, there's an 8. So point is 8. So we're going to, again, $50 don't come, and we're going to have to lay 60 to win back 50 to protect this over here. All right, here we go. All right, 9. This bet will travel behind the 9, so we have a bet against the 8 and 9. We're going to remove our odds. We're going to start our come betting. 5. This come bet travels to the 5. Now we're going to go to the $50 level. 4. This will be interesting. We're going to see all the bets out there, I guess. And finally the $100 bet, and then we're just going to let things roll out, see what happens. There's a 6. Interesting. We got all these numbers lined up. All right, here we go. We would love to hit the 6. That's our biggest bet at 100. If we do roll a 7, we lose this here, so we've got 150, 175, and we would win back 100. So not the end of the world, but we really would prefer to hit the 6. Yo, 11. There's a 10 easy. All right, we've hit the 11 and the 10, no bets on it. The rest of the numbers got bets, so something's got to give here. 7 out. All right, so again, like I said, we're going to lose 175. We're going to win 50. This is going to come down and get paid. We win 50. So in that case, we actually lost $75. All right, puck goes off. New shooter coming out. That shooter had too long of a roll, right? All right, here we go. 7 on the come out. So far, that has been our biggest leak in this strategy. There we go. Same shooter looking for a point. Dice I threw off the table. I'll just get a new one. 6 the hard way. That'll be our point. So $50 coming, or don't come. $60 in odds to protect that don't come. Here we go. Let's see what happens. 2 spot and a dot. That's just an immediate winner in the don't come. So we'll just rack it up. Here we go. 2. All right, we're making up for those come out 7s maybe. All right, just a quick win. 8. It's going to travel to the 8, behind the 8. So it goes behind the 8. We no longer need our odds. And now we start our come betting. There we go. 4, easy 4. So that'll travel. Now we're going to go up to $50. And again, you could play this at any scale level you want. Let's say they're $5. So you do $10, $10 don't come, and then you would start 5, 10, or no, 5, then 10, oh yeah, then 10, and then $20 come bet. So you can, same skill it to 10, 15, whatever you like. Play this at the blackjack level if you're really a baller. All right, here we go. 3 craps. So we're going to lose in the come. Now, anytime we lose in the come bet, that's okay. We're just going to move to our next level. So we lost at 50. We're going to go up to 100. All right, here we go. This would be the ideal time to roll at 7. We'd lose here, but we'd win, win, win. So let's go 7. Oh, okay, we got a 6. We're going to knock off our don't. So we're going to lose the don't. This is going to travel inside the 6. Puck will go off. We're not going to replace this. We're going to let our bets just roll and see what happens. Now, we've got one $50 don't. We really, at this point, we're kind of a light side player. We want to roll the 6. All right. New shooter, or same shooter, I should say. Here we go. Hey, there we go. Let's go. There's the 6. Puck is on the 6. These bets are always working. Same with the lay bet. So this is going to come down, win us 100, rack that up, and now we'll just see how this resolves. 12 craps. 4 the hard way. All right, it's going to come down and win. Now, if all of our come bets ever resolve like this, and we're just left with either a don't pass or don't come bet, we can essentially just start the strategy over. So in this case, we can lay, and we will. We're going to go ahead and make a new don't come bet because we're starting the strategy over, but instead of on the pass line, we're up here on the don't come. So we're going to make a new don't come bet. We need a lay 60. Dealer, give me a lay on that 8. They'll set you up here. We've got our don't come in, and then we're going to start the sequence over. So here we go. There's a 5. So this bet will travel behind the 5. We don't, dealer, pull down my lay odds, not our lay bet, our lay odds. You are allowed to remove these if you want. I wouldn't suggest it, but let's go ahead and remove our lay odds. They accomplish their purpose, and then we'll start our come betting. All right, here we go. There's an 8. So we're going to knock off this don't come bet. That's going to travel inside the 8. Now we ladder up to $50. There's a 9. Now we reach in, $100 bet in the come. 12 craps. That one hurt. So we're going to lose a 100 there. We're not going to go anywhere. We're not going to do any additional come bet. Now we just got to let the sequence run out. So we're looking for the 8, 9, and then the 7. So let's see what happens here. 2 craps. There's a 6-point hit. Puck's going to go off. All these bets are working bets, so it really doesn't matter if the puck's on or off. There's a 5. So we're going to knock off another don't. This was a bad section for us. And there's a 7. We're going to knock off our remaining come bets. Ouch. Puck goes off. Bank took a lot of green. All right, we're going to have a new shooter. We got time. Let's get it going. $50 don't. Maybe we can make a comeback. Too long of a roll. We're looking for random short shooters. There's an 8. Long rolls are okay, but the sequence has to just work out just right. So we're going to do $50 don't come. And we're going to lay $50 or $60 lay odds. All right, here we go. 10 the hard way, 10 hard. This travels behind the 10. We don't need our odds anymore. Let's go ahead and start making come bets. 8, easy. And we hit our point, so we lose our don't pass. Puck's going to go off. It's going to travel inside the 8. And now to continue our come betting sequence, because we're not going to replace the don'ts, because we're in the middle of strategy. So instead of going on the, we can't do the come yet, so let's go ahead and do $50 on the pass, which is, it's essentially the same as the come bet. All right, here we go. 6, easy 6. So that's our point. So here's our don't. These are on the pass. And then we're going to make a $100. We're going to have to dip into our black, a $100 bet on the come. So there's our 25, our 50, now our $100 bet. Here we go. 7, okay, that'll work. We lose our pass, we lose our come bet, but this $50 comes down and gets paid 50. And then our $100 bet, oh, my chips are all over the place. Our $100 bet is going to win $100. So that bailed us out a little bit. Puck will go off and we'll have a new shooter. All right, here we go. That worked a little better. 7 on the come out. I forgot to make my $50 don't, but that would lose with a 7. Oh, I forgot it again. Let's get it down there. Loser on the 7. That hurts. That hurts. All right, here we go. 5. Okay. $50 don't come. We need 75 in odds. Here, dealer, give me some green, please. There's 4 green for 1 black. And we're gonna lay 75 in odds to win back 50. Here we go. 10, easy 10. Goes behind the 10. We don't need our odds anymore. Now we're gonna start come betting. 4 the hard way, 4 hard. Travels to the 4, now we go to 50. There's the 7. All right, so where do we look here? So we lose our come bet. Our don't pass is going to win. Our don't come comes down and gets paid. And then our last come bet also gets paid. Puck will go off. And that's how it's supposed to work. All right, do we have, yeah, we can do one more. Let's do one more. All right, we got to avoid these come out 7s. All right, there's the 7, so now we're not going to shoot it because it's already there. God. Okay, you got to look out for them random rollers. They'll kill you. Any strategy you got. All right, back down on the 50. Maybe we'll change the number. Here we go. 9, all right. Puck will go to the 9. We're going to bet 50. And then we're going to lay 75 to win back 50. Betting 3 to 2. The odds pay 2 to 3, so we got to bet 3 to 2. Here we go. 4 easy. Travels behind the 4. We don't need our odds anymore, but now we're going to start our come betting. Here we go. There's the 7. All right, what are we looking at here? Oh, we're going to win on our don't pass. Our don't come is going to come down and get paid. And then our last come gets paid. Puck will go off. We can rack that up. And I think we will just go ahead and end it there, count it up, and see where we stand. We started with 1,000. We've got 400, 500, 600, 7, 8. Well, we're down a little bit. 850. So 875. So here we lost $125. So, small percentage of our overall bankroll, but that is the Randy Huck and Chuck, and hopefully, you can get that 7 before, that final $100 come bet moves. Because after that, it's kind of risky, right? Because at that point, the 7's not working for you because you would lose that big $100 come bet. So anyway, maybe you like that one, maybe you don't. But until next time, however you like to play, good luck on coloring up. All right, let's go ahead and graph out the Randy Huck and Chuck using Dicer.io. We know it ended up down a little bit, but I do want to compare it against our standards, which is the 3-point Dolly, our dark side strategy, and the Molly light side. And wait a second, and our conservative right down the middle hedgehog, if I can find it. And we know probably this will be a dark side roll, but this is again using today's rolls, so let's go ahead and see how that looks like. And yeah, the Dolly had a big win at $16.75. The hedgehog also won $275. And our Molly almost busted out, ended up, inverse of the Dolly, so down at $175. Let's go ahead and run this through a random number generated 15 shooters. And the 3-point Molly busted out before that long roll, so he busted out early. And it looks like they all finished up a little bit around that $200 mark or so, and kind of bunched together both the don't and the Randy Huck and Chuck, so very interesting. Let's go ahead and run it again. Again, some more don't rolls. See all those red lines? Those are shooters. So a lot of short rolls. So the Dolly did really well. The Randy Huck and Chuck did have a profit, and the Molly not so good. All right, I'm just having no good rolls with these simulations today. The Dolly's up. The Randy Huck and Chuck not far behind it. Also won, looks like $1,600 or so. Oh, we might have a light side roll. Okay, so this will be interesting. So yeah, a lot of above average rolls. So look at the 3-point Molly go. Our Dolly busted out early. And looks like our Randy Huck and Chuck was a little, well, I don't know. It's hard to tell with these lines. 600-700 maybe, something like that. So it lost a little bit. Not too bad. Didn't bust out like the don't, but didn't do that well. So one more time. It seems like it does better on kind of shorter throws. Well, this time the don't busted out early. The Randy won, $1,700, and it was pretty much paced with the 3-point Molly, which did the best. So it's pretty interesting that it does pretty well with both light side and dark side strategies. So there is the Randy Huck and Chuck. If you're enjoying my videos, consider supporting the Color Up channel by joining my club, the Color Up Club. It's an awesome community of craps enthusiasts just like me, and I also give out some free swag. So check out my website, colorup.club.